Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome to Sons of Liberty 1773. This is indeed where men and women from around the world gather in defense of liberty. I'm your host, Bill Bailey, who will be channeling the patriotism of America's founding fathers. So, folks, I got some massive breaking news that I want to get to. From this article's in the Gateway Pundit. It showed up today. I will leave the link to the full article in the description and a pinned comment in this video, and you need to read the whole thing. I'm just going to skim through the big parts of it. But this gets back to 2020, and Dana Nessel and Jocelyn Benson, probably Ed McBroom, and some other Republicans knew about it. Remember, Ed McBroom was working with Dana Nessel on the report. There was no widespread election fraud in the 2020 election. It's not looking that way. I didn't believe it then, and more evidence keeps bubbling to the surface. But this is pretty major, and it was hidden from us. It was hidden intentionally. But before we start on that, our friend, our warrior, Matt DePerno, is being viciously attacked by Dana Nessel and the radical left. He needs money, folks, to fight his battle. He helped me, he helped all of us, and now it's our turn to help Matt. The description or the link to his website to help him that they just started is fightwithdeperno.com, fightwithdeperno.com. Please go give him some financial support, okay? Because of Matt DePerno, there's just a few things that I can think of right off the top. Because of Matt DePerno, we got the first forensic imagery of voting machines. His investigative work in Antrim County, the Antrim County case, me as the plaintiff, revealed systematic flaws and widespread corruption in America's elections. The evidence gathered from the Antrim County case has been used across America in other election integrity cases. Matt went on to run for and was nominated to be the Republican candidate for Attorney General. That's a pretty big thing, right? To do that with everybody fighting him. Okay, the media, the rhinos, the liberals, and Matt still pulled off a victory and won that nomination. He was endorsed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump held rallies in Michigan in support of Matt. Although he didn't win, Matt came the closest to winning. That close compared to Tudor Dixon, who had way more money, against Gretchen Whitmer, and Christina Caramo against Jocelyn Benson. Matt worked his ass off, folks, and God, we could just be such a great state if Matt was our Attorney General. Matt then went on to run for chair of the Michigan Republican Party, was once again endorsed by Donald Trump. It was a runoff between him and Christina Caramo, and Christina Caramo won. But because Matt has been an American First Patriot fighting for election integrity, he is one of the first, did you know this, to be canceled by his bank? Matt went to get money out of the bank and they'd locked his account and canceled him because of what he was doing. He's being mercilessly attacked by the radical left. He's a target of the Project 65 or 65 Project. That is a group of well-funded millions and millions of dollars, folk, left-wing Looney Tune attorneys that are going after any and all attorneys that fought for election integrity in any of the 65 lawsuits that were filed regarding the 2020 election. And now his opponent in the AG race, radical left-wing, I think a communist, totalitarian Dana Nessel, is now using the power of her office and lawfare to charge Matt with multiple felonies, trying to bankrupt, imprison, and disbar Matt DePerno and effectively ruin his career, folks. We have to stand with the people that stood with us, and Matt, is right up there with Trump. And they're going after Matt. They're going after Trump. in the same fashion. They're going after, the communists are going after their political opponents. Donald Trump is the tip of the spear, if you will. And then you've got people like Matt DePerno. They're going after the alternate electors, which, broke no law. That's crap. But Matt needs our financial help now. I can tell you, he needs money. He's got to hire legal, pay an attorney and have good representation so they don't destroy Matt in his whole career and everything Matt has worked for to be a constitutional attorney. So please, please, please share that link, fightwithdeperno.com, and get everybody to send Matt some money, okay? You can go right on there and donate. Just takes a few seconds. So this article at the Gateway Pundit. Headline: Now we have proof. The Gateway Pundit exclusive. Massive 2020 voter fraud uncovered in Michigan. Police find tens of thousands of fake registrations, bags of prepaid gift cards, guns with silencers, burner phones, and a Democrat-funded organization with multiple temporary facilities in several states. And they also had, I think, cards for enterprise rental cars, which is important, and I'll tell you why. So this is by Benjamin Wetmer and Patty McMurray, who did own 100% Fed Up. She has sold 100% Fed Up now, and she is exclusively writing with the Gateway Pundit. So here we go. Back on October 20th, 2020, okay? Election was November 3rd. This is October 20th. Deadline day for in-person voter registration applications. The suspect went to the Muskegon City Clerk's office. She'd already dropped off, I think, like 10,000 registrations. And she showed back up and dropped off an estimated additional 2,500 forms. Mish, who is the city clerk, said this is a red flag and called the police department. Mish contacted the Muskegon Police Department, and Detective Logan Anderson and Captain Sean Bride conducted a non-custodial interview with the suspect. The Michigan Police Department was contacted and asked to investigate on 10/21/20. First Lieutenant Mike Anderson was contacted by Tom Fabus, Chief of Investigations for Michigan Attorney General, are you ready? Dana Nessel. According to the Michigan State Police report, Mr. Fabus asked for the Michigan State Police assistant with a joint investigation of alleged voter fraud being conducted by the Muskegon Police Department and the Attorney General. Mish stated that in her opinion, a quantity of the voter registration forms were highly suspicious and possibly fraudulent. Mish's opinion was based on the fact that numerous forms appeared to have been completed by the same writer, and upon initial examination, addresses on multiple forms were invalid or non-existent. An investigative task force was formed and an investigation was initiated. The Michigan State Police investigator assigned to the case spoke with the female suspect, who explained that she was being paid $1,150 a week to find unregistered voters and provide them with a form so they can get registered to vote or obtain their absentee ballot. The only problem is the handwriting on the voter registrations was the same on several of the registrations, and many of the addresses were non-existent or fake. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, who is currently attempting to prosecute 15 senior citizens, these alternate electors, these Republicans, along with, I might add, Matt DePerno, and the former Michigan GOP co-chair for casting an alternate set of electoral votes in the 2020 election, asked the Michigan State Police to join the Muskegon Police in AG's investigation of the potentially massive multi-city voter fraud operation. Two members of Attorney General Dana Nessel's Criminal Investigation Division were assigned to the operation, yet curiously, she failed to mention the investigation to the public. They buried the story, folks. To this day, Dana Nessel is still claiming there was no evidence of widespread voter fraud in Michigan, despite the fact that she knew her office and the office of her friend, Michigan's crooked Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, were involved with the Michigan State Police in a large-scale investigation that took place across the state before it was taken over by the FBI. This is before Election Day, November 3. Remember, she's saying the big lie, they're telling the big lie that there was widespread election fraud. There is no evidence of widespread election fraud. She's investigating widespread election fraud and buried the story, folks. She never told anybody. And I suspect that freaking piece of crap Ed McBroom knew this as well. Corey Ames, a Michigan Secretary of State analyst, confirmed a quantity of the forms they found in their investigation are clearly fraudulent. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson also claimed there was no widespread voter fraud in Michigan and neglected to mention the investigation to the public. So Jocelyn Benson, Dana Nessel, and I'm guessing Ed McBroom and some other rhinos knew all about this, and they were just... McBroom put out that report. There's no evidence of widespread election fraud. It's all bullshit, folks. We knew this. Nearly 3 years later, President Trump faces multiple prosecutions because he fraudulently pursued baseless claims, quoting, of voter fraud, according to prosecutors and the mainstream media. Trump won the Michigan vote in 2016 by 15,000 votes, but suspiciously lost to Biden in 2020 by 4 years later by 150,000 votes, despite increasing his vote share in neighboring Ohio. 16 Trump presidential electors in Michigan are being prosecuted by far-left Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, including Matt DePerno. According to Dana Nessel, the controversial Michigan AG, they fraudulently believed, the people that believe there were problems with the 2020 election. She's saying they fraudulently believe there was systematic voter fraud that was not being properly investigated. This is earth-shattering stuff, folks. The release police report has redactions throughout. You can see it in the art. Read the whole article. I just took some excerpts from it. The released police report has redactions throughout, but not all names were redacted. The police report names GBI Strategies as the organization engaged in what the report suggests is widespread systematic voter fraud in multiple locations around the state. The Tennessee group is heavily connected to the Biden campaign and various Democrat campaign committees. The release report also names Brillis as a primary person involved. The police report also notes that the organization used rental cars, enterprise, rental cars around the state as part of its deployments, naming several of the field locations for their operations on election night. A suspicious 3:30 a.m. van, remember, delivered the Biden ballot dump in Detroit at the facility formerly known as the TCF Center, was accompanied by a vehicle registered to the rental car company, which I believe is Enterprise. Wow. And you know what else they found? They found burner phones, guns with silencers. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. They found tens of thousands, police find tens of thousands of fake registrations, bags of prepaid gift cards, guns with silencer, burner phones, and a Democrat-funded organization with multiple temporary facilities in several states. Dana Nessel and Jocelyn Benson, and I'm betting Ed McBroom knew this. 1,000% with Dana Nessel and Jocelyn Benson. And they gave this to look at it, went from the Muskegon police to the Michigan State Police to the FBI. And guess what happened when the FBI got it? You hear the crickets, folks? Crickets? Unreal. Read this whole thing. Do two things. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you three things. Please give to Matt DePerno, folks. I can't tell you how much he needs financial help. He needs really big money. He needs to raise like $500,000. and is Give, Send, Go, I think it is. It's the good one. It's not the bad one. No, GoFundMe is the bad one, right? Give, Send, Go has about 4,500 in it already from smaller donations, but we need to fill up Matt's financial coffers so we can get the good legal help that he needs and fight this battle. Because we need Matt to stay an attorney, okay? We need Matt to be financially healthy, to win this battle, and to live to fight another day, because we need attorneys like Matt, okay, that are strong and are American first patriots. We can't let them just mow him over, folks. That'd just be so wrong. And him and his wife, a wonderful family. So again, it is fightwithdeperno.com, fightwithdeperno.com, and then go in the description and a pinned comment, the description of this video, or open up the comments. I'll put a pinned comment. It will have the link. You can read this full article, okay? And then lastly, in my community post, I shared 2 videos, okay? It says must watch, and it's got this headline, and it's Steve Bannon today interviewing Jim Hoft and Patty McMurray. And watch that. It's just this is incredible information. And for them going after Trump right now, it's perfect timing, because they're going to try to take him in front of the January 6th board. Look, they buried this from the January 6th committee. FBI knew about this. They know. What else does the FBI know that they're not telling us? I suspect a lot. But they hid this information. So this is good for Trump. I mean, this is good for everybody that's thought there was issues with the 2020 election. Just damn, So that's it. I'm running a little late. We got to get our 2-mile walk in. I'm, trying to eat healthy and lose weight and exercise and get ready for the storm that's coming. I think we're heading for hard times. Oh, one nice thing. We were at the bank and we noticed CD rates now. Like local bank here has 11-month CD, like 5.25%. So I was in there and I was talking to the teller. I go, I'm just curious, what are mortgage rates right now? And she said they're around 7%. And then I seen a home equity thing. It said, get a second mortgage, 9-point-some%. And I go, 9-point-some%? She goes, that's old. Well, but it's kind of close. So rates are going up, folks. And what's going to happen is, like a friend of ours was telling, Renee shared it with me, that the easy money, when it goes away, when you can't borrow cheap money and it gets expensive to borrow money, then it's, cash on hand. Cash is going to be king with buying, but I'm kind of glad to see that you can get a 5% CD. There's a lot of people older than me that live off their investments, and because of this runaway inflation, they're living hand to mouth, and they can't risk their money. They got to have a stable investment where they can't lose their principal. So maybe you'll start getting 5 or 6% again in your bank accounts, but it's a double-edged sword, because as they raise interest rates, it kills the economy, and it means more interest on the national debt. And like I said before, this thing's going to start consuming itself, and it's going to be bad. Right now, in New York, big commercial buildings, the buildings are worth less than the debt that is on them, folks. And this is the big commercial bubble that's coming in real estate that's going to pop. And what COVID did is it showed companies that their employees can be just as productive at home, and they don't need the brick and mortar centers. And people can work out of their houses, and I know a lot of people doing it. It's just a house of cards, and it's going to blow apart. And when it does, it's going to happen quick. My opinion, I always just stupid disclaimers. Do your own research, but I think I'm right on this stuff. But everybody, you got a right to your opinion. It's America. But I say get ready for what's coming. So, all right, just over 20 minutes. I'm going to end it here. As always, keep prepping, keep praying, pray for revival, pray for Matt DePerno. Say a prayer for Matt DePerno and his family. for Trump and his family, for what, I just feel so bad for these people to go through stuff, that you would go through in a communist nation, right? They're the political rivals of the communists. And just never thought I would see this injustice, this level of evil in our country, but we're seeing it. But pray for revival. Psalms 33:12, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Prayer works, folks. Please pray for this country. Pray for our enemies, as Steve Bannon would say, because we're going to be going medieval on them. But I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So check this out. Share this video. And I always forget. Would really like to grow this channel. If you like the content, if you like listening to this old fart talk, please subscribe. Like the videos, comment, share the videos, and see if we can grow our audience, right? I'm pretty good, if we get some left-wing idiots in here, if I see them in the chat, I just, banned. When you want to see the light, come back and listen to us, and you might learn something. But so I'm trying to keep this a big group of patriots. So that's it. I will see you in the next video. God bless everybody.